Sure. Here's a 500-word story designed to gently promote the idea of instant relaxation for anxiety, stress, and insomnia in an engaging and emotional way. The Button. Emma sat curled up in her favorite armchair, the one by the window with a view of the quiet street below. Outside, the city never stopped. Cars hummed past, sirens screamed in the distance, and lights flickered from windows across the way. Inside, it was supposed to be peaceful, but her mind wouldn't let her rest. It had been a week of deadlines, misunderstandings, and that gnawing tightness in her chest that always came when stress piled too high. Sleep had become a stranger again. Anxiety whispered all the things she might have forgotten, all the things that could go wrong. No amount of deep breathing or herbal tea seemed to help. Scrolling aimlessly on her phone, Emma saw something that made her pause. Instant relaxation for anxiety, stress, and insomnia. Try it today. She hesitated. Another gimmick? But something about it, maybe the soft colors or the way the words felt like they were speaking just to her, pulled her in. She clicked. It was simple. A voice. Just a voice. Gentle, calm, not trying too hard. The kind of voice that felt like it knew exactly what you needed without having to ask. Emma closed her eyes and listened. Just 2 sentences. Nothing more. But in those 2 sentences, something shifted. Her shoulders softened, her jaw unclenched, and for the first time in days, she felt her breath settle into something slow and deep. It wasn't magic, but it was close. She laughed softly to herself. All this time, she'd been looking for complicated solutions. But sometimes it turns out peace is just a voice away. That night, she slept. Not a restless, twitchy kind of sleep, but the real kind. The kind that pulls you down into quiet dreams and lets you wake up new. Over the next week, she listened again. Every time stress crept back in or her thoughts started spinning, she pressed play, like a reset button. A reminder to come back to the present, to herself. Emma didn't solve every problem in her life that week. The emails still came, the dishes still piled up, and the world kept moving at its chaotic pace. But she was different now. Calmer, quieter. And that made all the difference. Need a peaceful moment right now? Sometimes all it takes is a voice. Try it yourself. Just 2 sentences, one click, and you could be feeling the difference in seconds. Instant relaxation when you need it most. Let me know if you'd like this turned into a short spoken voice sample. I can help you choose a voice and generate it. Absolutely. Here's an additional 500-word continuation of the story, deepening Emma's journey with stress, anxiety, and her discovery of simple tools that helped her regain calm and control. As days turned into weeks, Emma began to notice more than just her sleep improving. Her mornings weren't rushed chaos anymore. She started waking up without an alarm, often before the sun peeked through the blinds, wrapped in a stillness she hadn't known in years. She'd sit on her balcony with a cup of tea, listening to birdsong instead of news notifications, and she realized, perhaps for the first time, how much noise she'd been living with, inside and out. It wasn't just the voice she'd found online that changed things. It was the awareness that she could change things, that she could stop, breathe, and reset, even if it was only for a minute. She started to build tiny rituals around those voice moments. A candle lit, a soft blanket over her knees, a journal beside her, not for writing lists or goals, but for simply asking herself, how do I feel right now? And the answers surprised her. She was tired, not just physically, but emotionally. Tired of pretending she was fine. Tired of managing everyone else's expectations. tired of being so connected all the time that she'd lost connection with herself. One day, during her lunch break, she sat in the park near her office with earbuds in. Instead of doom scrolling or checking emails, she listened to the calming voice again. It said nothing groundbreaking, just two gentle lines reminding her to slow down, to let go, to breathe. She opened her eyes and realized she hadn't noticed the cherry blossoms above her, the warmth of the breeze on her face, or the laughter of a child chasing pigeons nearby. How, how many beautiful things had she missed, she wondered, by being trapped in her head? Emma began to share the voice with others, friends, colleagues, even her mother, who hadn't slept well in years. They all had the same reaction: surprised silence, followed by a sigh, a smile, and a simple thank you. It wasn't a cure, but it was a moment of relief. And sometimes a moment is all someone needs. As her mind quieted more often, her creativity returned. Emma began sketching again, something she hadn't done since college. She filled pages with images that weren't meant for social media or a portfolio, but just for her. Scenes of stillness, softness, and light. Her world hadn't become less stressful, but she had found small tools to meet that stress with more strength. She still used the voice, not every day, but when she needed it. In traffic, before big meetings, during long nights when sleep played hide and seek again. It had become a friend, a companion for those anxious moments that used to spiral out of control. And most importantly, it reminded her of one profound truth. Peace doesn't always come from fixing everything around you. Sometimes it starts from pausing long enough to feel everything inside you and gently letting it go. Would you like a 2-sentence audio sample taken from this story? I can help with that. Just pick a voice. Absolutely. Here's a 100-word continuation to round out Emma's story. One rainy afternoon, Emma stood by the window, watching droplets race down the glass. She smiled, not because everything in her life was perfect, but because she'd finally learned how to sit with imperfection without drowning in it. The voice she'd discovered weeks ago had become more than just a tool. It was a doorway back to herself. Each time she listened, it reminded her that calm wasn't something she had to chase. It was something she could choose, moment by moment. And in a world that never stopped moving, that simple truth felt like the most powerful gift of all. Let me know if you'd like a voice sample from this story.